Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. On paper, the Lakers season looks solid. Only 11 losses so far. That sounds fine until you actually look at how those losses are happening. Every single loss in December came by double digits. That's not bad luck, that's a pattern. And it's happening to a team with LeBron James and Luka Dončić, two of the most powerful offensive engines the NBA has ever seen. A team that should, in theory, be able to score its way out of almost any problem. But here's the issue. This Lakers team can score, but it cannot stop anyone. At a glance, everything feels encouraging. Luka is playing at an MVP caliber level and is a lock for the All-Star game. Before injuries hit, Austin Reaves was flirting with all-star production himself. Despite having their full roster available for just 2 games all season, the Lakers still managed to win about 2/3 of their games. The highlights look great. The record looks respectable. Underneath that surface, though, is a problem that was never about if it would show up, but when. And by December, it arrived loud and clear. December wasn't just a slump, it was the sound of something starting to break. The Lakers went 5-7, lost 4 of their final 5 games, and every loss was by double figures. Over those 12 games, they were outscored by 94 points. It all culminated in a 23-point loss to the Rockets on Christmas Day, on one of the biggest stages in the league. That game didn't create the problem, it exposed it. The original blueprint was simple. Elite offense led by Luka, LeBron, and Reaves, paired with a defense that could scrape together enough stops when it mattered. That balance is gone. The defense has completely fallen apart, and the offense hasn't been consistent enough to cover for it, especially with injuries constantly disrupting rhythm. The numbers are brutal. A 118.5 defensive rating, 25th in the NBA. Meanwhile, the offense sits top 7. They can outscore anyone, but when they need a stop, they simply don't get one. In December, their defense ranked 29th, 4 wins by single digits, 7 losses by double digits. There's no margin for error. Missed shots turn into fast breaks, careless passes become easy points. The Lakers gave up over 120 points per game in December, along with bottom 5 marks in transition defense and points off turnovers. Teams didn't hesitate, they ran straight through them. And that's the scary part. This isn't trending better, it's getting worse.
In December, the Lakers' offensive rating fell to 115.3, good for just 15th in the league. That's still respectable, but it's no longer elite. And once that offense dropped even a notch, it exposed the truth. This isn't a good team dealing with a temporary defensive slump. This is a one-dimensional team surviving almost entirely on scoring. And when the scoring isn't overwhelming, everything else falls apart. That imbalance is now showing up in the most alarming way possible. The Lakers sit near the top of the league in 20-point losses, right alongside 4 lottery teams. Think about that for a second. They only have 11 total losses, but when they lose, they get blown off the floor. There's no competitiveness, no late push, no grinded-out finish. The defense collapses, and the game is over by the 4th quarter. Even worse, that defense has given this team a very clear and very troubling identity. The Lakers can bully bad teams, but they crumble against good ones. The numbers don't lie. They're 13-3 against sub-500 teams and just 7-8 against teams above 500. That tells you everything you need to know. Against weaker competition, the Lakers can look dominant, but when the game speeds up, when it gets physical, when the opponent has youth and athleticism, the Lakers fold. Watching them play elite teams feels like watching a rerun. You already know how it ends. The game slowly slips away, mistakes pile up, and what starts close turns into another blowout. That script held again in their final game of 2025 against the Pistons. Nothing changed. The Lakers trailed most of the night and lost 128-106. It was their 6th loss by 20 or more points this season, and the fifth of those against teams above 500. At that point, the issue isn't subtle anymore. It's glaring. Any championship hopes in 2025-26 require a defense that looks nothing like this. And the person making that reality impossible to ignore is head coach JJ Redick. Redick is only in his second year as a head coach, but he doesn't coach like someone afraid to protect feelings. Most young coaches play it safe publicly. Redick doesn't. When he's unhappy, you hear it, in his tone, his words, and sometimes in how little he says at all. December brought the Lakers their first losing streak of the season, 3 straight losses, all blowouts. And during that stretch, no one looked more aware or more frustrated than JJ Redick. He said it plainly, "We don't care enough right now. We don't have it right now." And then he went even further. He talked about the difference between saying you want to win and actually caring enough to do the little things every single possession. Not sometimes, not when it's convenient, consistently. According to Redick, those are championship habits, and the Lakers simply don't have them right now. That wasn't a throwaway quote. When he was asked directly whether the Lakers have enough players who can defend and give full effort, his answer was one word: no. He's called the team stuck in the mud. He's openly questioned their professionalism. This isn't a coach being emotional or dramatic. This is a coach who sounds genuinely unsure whether his roster can meet even the baseline standards he's asking for. And when a head coach says publicly that his players don't care enough, that's no longer a scheme issue. That's a culture issue. You can't fix that with a new rotation or a better halftime adjustment. Effort has to come from within. And lately, the truth has become harder to ignore. The Lakers' problems aren't only about injuries or roster balance. Effort is a major part of the equation. Which brings us to the uncomfortable conversation nobody in Los Angeles wants to have: LeBron James and Luka Dončić. These two are the pillars of the franchise. Offensively, they are still brilliant, but that brilliance comes with a cost. Let's start with LeBron. Since arriving in 2018, he's been the Lakers' offensive engine. Even after Luka joined, LeBron remained a central force. Defensively, he used to be reliable. This season, that hasn't been the case. His defensive impact has slipped, and the eye test confirms it. He'll still flash with a chase-down block or a smart steal, but on most possessions, he looks disengaged. Age plays a role, he's 41, but on a team with one of the worst defenses in the league, no one can afford to coast. And when LeBron is on the floor, the numbers are brutal. The Lakers are allowing nearly 122 points per 100 possessions, and they've been significantly outscored in those minutes. That might be survivable if it stopped there. It doesn't. Luka Dončić is showing many of the same defensive issues. His effort has been questioned all season, and it's not just noise. Reggie Miller called him out live on national TV for failing to help teammates and for poor body language. When Hall of Famers are doing that on air, it means the problem is obvious. And this isn't a new thing. Defensive concerns were a factor in Dallas moving on from him, and now those same issues are showing up in Los Angeles. When you look at the Lakers' core units, the pattern is clear. Lineups built around Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves bleed points. Without Reaves, it gets even worse. With just Luka and LeBron together, the defense completely collapses. The Lakers built their roster around two offensive geniuses who both need to conserve energy on defense. That can work against bad teams in the regular season. It does not work in a playoff series against disciplined, athletic opponents. If the Lakers want to be taken seriously by April, they have to fix this, and the path forward is obvious. Inject athletic, two-way players who can defend, run, and set a standard. Because right now, this team doesn't just lack stops, it lacks habits. The Lakers' defense is a mess, no sugarcoating it. Outside of Marcus Smart and Jared Vanderbilt, there simply aren't many players on this roster you trust to consistently get stops.
Vanderbilt is an interesting piece. His three-point shot has started to come around, hitting roughly 40% on limited attempts. If he can sustain that efficiency and raise the volume, his value skyrockets. But even then, one versatile defender isn't enough to save a broken system. The deeper issue is how difficult it is to fix. When you're paying two players over $50 million each, roster flexibility disappears. LeBron is making $52 million this season, and at this stage of his career, that contract functions like a straitjacket. It limits trade options, squeezes the cap, and forces the Lakers to rely heavily on minimum-level contributors to fill out the rotation. The front office knows the defense needs help. They've explored trade possibilities, but nothing comes cheap. Keon Ellis in Sacramento makes sense. Trey Murphy and Herb Jones in New Orleans would be perfect fits. The problem is timing and assets. With only one first-round pick available, the Lakers don't have the ammunition to outbid teams that view their young players as long-term building blocks. That reality means the Lakers may enter the playoffs with their current core. At best, that looks like Luka Dončić, Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. That lineup has played just 85 minutes together, so the sample is small, but the results are alarming. A 123 defensive rating, worse than the league's worst team. That's not survivable. If JJ Redick can't manufacture a workable defensive structure, things only get uglier. No one expects this team to become elite defensively, but effort has to be non-negotiable. Between now and April, the Lakers must clean this up. So that's the Lakers in a nutshell. Elite offense, terrible defense, a coach telling hard truths, and a front office boxed in by its own decisions. The real question is simple. Did pairing LeBron and Luka doom this roster, or is there still time for it all to click? But in today's game, Luka Dončić and LeBron James reminded everyone why the Lakers are still dangerous when it matters most. This season has been a roller coaster for Los Angeles. Good weeks, bad weeks, and everything in between. Coming into Friday night against the Memphis Grizzlies, the Lakers were clearly trending in the wrong direction, having dropped 4 of their last 5 games. And for a while, the Memphis game looked like more of the same. The Lakers played with energy, built a solid lead, and then slowly let it slip away as the intensity faded. By the end of the third quarter, a 15-point advantage had completely vanished, and it felt like another frustrating night was on the way. That's when the stars stepped in. Luka Dončić and LeBron James took control late and powered the Lakers to a 128-121 win at Crypto.com Arena. Dončić was relentless, scoring 34 points while knocking down 17 of 20 free throws, adding 8 assists and 6 rebounds. LeBron matched the moment with 31 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, taking over when the game tightened. They weren't alone. Jake LaRavia delivered one of his best performances of the season with 21 points, 9 rebounds, and strong defense. Marcus Smart filled the stat sheet with 13 points, 8 boards, and 7 assists, while Jackson Hayes chipped in 12 points off the bench. The win pushed the Lakers to an NBA best 11-0 in clutch games. As Luka said after the game, this one was about everyone stepping up at the right time. First time since March that Luka and LeBron both dropped 30. Tell me what you think. I'm done. Peace. I'm out. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.